There's no like, I've made it, there's no award. I'm living constantly as an actor. It's just like, how can I push myself? How can I keep knocking down the work that you've done before and then do something different? My goal is to keep exploring, digging into like the human experience through acting.
You don't have anything planned for the rest of the day, do you?
I have a workout.
That's in 3 hours, I think. Okay. For the Chef's Table fans, could we just do a quick top line on like who are you and what are you doing?
My name is Jessica Barden. I'm an actress. I'm in the HBO series Dune Prophecy.
Okay, perfect. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Tell me about
It's a good place to
when
start.
you were born.
When I
And
was born,
what is the first memory of ever eating something, and what's the deal with your parents and like everything?
I was obsessed with bananas. I was a very fussy child with food. I now go through it with my eldest child. I was obsessed with bananas. I basically only ate them. I was also very locked into Heinz tomato soup, and I still am.
Heinz tomato.
Yeah, but specifically like from England. There's a lot of international markets in Los Angeles and in America where you can get like English versions. It's quite frankly not the same. So I was very into Heinz tomato soup. I did elevate it with pasta shells inside of it, specifically those ones. Actually, those ones like the shell, because they would
Incredible.
collect the soup inside of them. White buttered bread. I also remember really loving Melba toast.
I'm sorry, what is that?
Melba toast is like the dried toast crackers
Okay, where are we in the world at this moment?
in the north of England, in Wetherby, a market town outside of Leeds.
So North England.
North, yeah.
And how old were you when you came up with the shells and the soup? Like, tell me about what era we are, like in your life, like how old we
I
are.
loved to be sick. I loved to have sick days from school. I loved it. And my mom, I was the eldest of three kids. They had three under three. So, if I was like, I'm not going to school, so it was just like, whatever. Okay, stay home. Wow, I'm realizing you're really good. Like, I'm realizing it now in real time. All of my foods that I love were like comfort foods, right? So, like, I associated staying home from school with tomato soup, the pasta shells, chocolate yuzu,
I'm sorry, what now?
microchips. Chocolate yuzu was like these little chocolate milkshakes that I
Oh,
was
okay.
allowed when I was sick.
Okay.
And microchips, which were French fries in a box, and you put them in the microwave from frozen. You microwave them for 2 minutes. You got them out. You put salt and vinegar on. You close the box. You shook them up. Put them back in for another 2 minutes. Stunning.
Wait, is that something you came up with, or is that the actual
It's a
instructions?
very UK thing, but the salt and vinegar was very specific to my family, I think.
Okay.
And then the vinegar would like get cooked into the fries and steamed
So
in the
you're cooking it
microwave.
in the box, the
Yeah.
packaging?
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me about like what your
Talk
parents
about
did. Yeah,
microplastics.
like
Like,
what can you paint like the picture, do the flashback, like paint the picture of your childhood. First off, how much older are you than your siblings?
I'm 15 months older than my brother,
Yeah,
so Irish twins. And then my youngest brother is 3 years younger than me.
Irish twins is great. What? Okay, so now all three kids are there. You're
Yeah.
all alive, and
Yeah.
you're living together in a house
Yeah.
in Northern England.
Bog
What's the
standard,
story?
everyday, like average family, semi-detached house, like built in the 70s. This is extremely relatable. You've got the two up, two down, but then there's a box room. And the box room is what it sounds like. It was a box, and that was my bedroom. Um, Extremely, when I'm thinking of like food and meal times and packed lunches, about as British as you can get, you know?
What is British to you? What does that mean? What is British?
Stew, chicken soup, supreme pasta, with the little shaker sachets where you rip them off and you mix it in with the hot water, and it's pasta. Maybe she put some frozen peas in, some rotisserie chicken, lasagna. She makes a good lasagna. She made a good bolognese. And then obviously it's like fish fingers and chips and beans. But I remember as well on Saturdays, we would always have bacon sandwiches with ketchup, which was disgusting.
And everything else was good though. So that was one thing you
My
didn't like.
dad would also make a fried egg sandwich with ketchup, which was so good.
Okay,
And
that was
like
great.
I'm constantly trying to like find that like ratio and
Oh my
taste.
god.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like the restaurant that you're gonna make Max open where
Oh
he's
my
gonna serve
god,
us.
yeah, that
Ma
yeah.
and for our for the listeners out there,
Max could not have grown up more different. Yeah.
Jess's husband, Max Winkler is one of my best friends, truly, and we like met in film school and we, worked together. We're like super,
Grew up in
super tight.
Hollywood.
Grew up in well, yeah, he grew up in Hollywood. I grew up in New York City. And we melded, my his, kind of mainstream appeal to my deep sophistication.
Yeah.
And, here we are. Okay, so you're a kid in Northern England.
It's pretty fucking bleak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell me the atmosphere.
There's not a lot going on, Like, for example, I used to watch a lot of documentaries. Like, I remember being 3 or 4 and watching documentaries on, like, beauty pageant kids and Dolly Parton, and somewhere between those images, I was like, "Whoa, I wanna go to America," you know? So, my auntie my mum's sister was a hairdresser. She was a mobile hairdresser, and me and my cousins would just go in the back of her car and like drive around doing her job with her. And we used to listen to Dolly Parton a lot, and that gave me like a real right from first conscious memories. Like I wanted to go to America and I wanted to do American things, but I wanted to go to like the South and be in this like glitzy, like big bleached hair version of America. Like that was like, whoa,
Like
I want to do
Nashville.
that. It was the complete opposite of where I come from. In the movie Billy Elliot,
Yes.
that's essentially what I grew up in.
Wow.
My family were like ex miners. Like that is what the north of England is.
So then going on that Billy Elliot thing,
Yeah.
because the next question I was gonna ask you was, what were your parents' jobs? And then what was their reaction when you were like, "I want to go to Hollywood?" And were they like, what was their
My
reaction?
dad is and was a prison officer. He at times at one time he even, like worked the garbage trucks. I don't know. So he works in the prison system. My mom didn't have a job until I was in high school. And then she just I don't like worked in a cardboard box factory, like in the accounts department, because I've seen people online discuss the fact that I said that my mom was an accountant, and people were like, how can she be working class? So actually, it was in a cardboard box factory. So,
A cardboard
um,
box factory.
yeah. Um, how did they react to me saying I wanted to be an actress? They've never reacted. They're
How
just
old
like,
were you when you just made this decision?
uh, forever.
So it's always your thing. You
Yeah,
were always like, "I'm gonna be a star."
always. I just wanted to be somebody, really I did. And it's cheesy, and I feel like we live in a world now where like everyone's kind of too cool and they don't want to say that, but yeah, I wanted people to like know my name, and I wanted to be in films and influence people, and I love seeing myself in things. A lot of actors like don't want to watch themselves. I love it. I love seeing my name at the end of credits. I'm so proud of it.
That's awesome, and I
Yeah.
love that you just, like, own that because,
Yeah.
um, also on Chef's Table, maybe there are a few of the chefs who are like, "I didn't even watch my episode because it's too painful," and I'm like,
Well, they
"That's
do a
hard, huh?"
different thing,
Well, I guess it's about their real life. Are you gonna watch this or listen to this?
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
I
let's go.
also but it also comes from a place of I don't look, I understand why people don't want to watch themselves when they're actors. Everybody has like a different process, right? But for me, I'm not gonna keep getting better unless I watch myself, you know?
It's absolutely right. I think
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense, and I think that's like what, pro athletes watch game tape, and you
Yeah.
take your craft, like, seriously.
I do I people are probably gonna laugh at this, but I do kind of approach my job in acting in a similar way I try and follow a lot of principles of athletes. I don't know if that's because so my family is very athletic. My brothers played football a lot. Um
This is your we call it
yeah, the
sons.
Premier League. Yeah, one of them,
He was in the Premier
nearly
League?
he nearly was in it. So he played for Leeds, but the famous thing of like he hurt his leg or something, like everybody always says it. But I do try and approach it with a similar discipline. The sports people, sorry, I hit the microphone.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I try and follow the same, try and be disciplined. Uh yeah, I do, yeah. And I approach my job as more of like a marathon.
Oh, yeah. And so you want to and you're always seeking improvement
And longevity
and
and
making smart choices about what you
making
wanna
decisions
do.
today that can help me in like 25 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to that sounds actually a little Bene Gesserit-y.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm really disciplined with my job. I think the way that I come across, people wouldn't really think that about me and the roles that I choose. And I guess just like the overall way that I am seems like I kind of go with the flow. But no, like I'm really disciplined with my job. Yeah.
like, how did you get to be like this? Like, what planted the seed of this in you? Because I don't think there are a lot of other actors or actresses from
I think
your
in I
town, right?
no, none, and I think that's what plants the seed. I think what made me wanna work so hard and, like, wanna constantly kind of, like, be on, like, even if I'm not working, like, if I have a long break between jobs, I work out every day because being on set is very physically demanding, and I don't stay in shape necessarily for what I look like, even though that is, like, a huge part of our job. It annoys me when people are just not upfront about that. But also you're putting in like a 16-hour day.
Yes.
I want to be in peak fitness
Yes.
to get through the day and be able to keep going.
Yeah.
Things like that. But I think a lot of it really was born from, it's a different journey. If you're coming from the middle of nowhere, I didn't know anybody that was doing this.
Right. 'Cause you're like the
And
opposite of Nepo.
yes. And so there's a lot of, I spent really like the first 10 years of my career being like, I don't deserve to be here as much as everybody else. I've got to work harder than everybody else.
Mm, mhm.
Now I've been able to neutralize a lot of that through therapy. But there's a lot of, I don't, it's not imposter syndrome. I don't think imposter syndrome exists in people like me because you have to work so hard for everything. But a lot of it is just like, I've got to work harder than other people. I did have to, yeah.
Because you had no connections.
None. And, you're going into a room cold all the time,
Right.
and also I was a kid when I started this, and it's a really real thing where completely understandable if they're going to hire the 10-year-old whose parents are a casting director or an actor or me, of course you're going to go with the kid whose family is in it because you're going to trust this person and this family with your $20 million movie.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
there was a lot of I'm going to work really, really hard. And also, I'm really grateful for this. I know that this is beyond what I could be doing?
Yeah.
So you want to make the most and be grateful of everything.
So you watched a lot of so I'm just trying to, like, put it together.
Yeah.
You're watching a lot of TV in a town where not a whole lot is happening,
No, yeah.
and but you're watching a lot of TV, is that kind of the thing? And,
A
like,
lot of
movies and,
Nickelodeon,
like,
like
Nickelodeon?
a lot of Mary Kate and Ashley
There you
movies.
go. So you're
Yeah.
seeing girls out there, like, living, like I think the Mary Kate like, the New York Minute or, like, which
It
yeah.
Takes Two. Hannah Montana was huge. High School Musical. Um, I wasn't given, like incredible movies to
No,
watch.
no, but you're watching, like, these wish fulfillment kind of
Yeah,
stories, which I think are probably, like those are huge hits because it's like, what did Hannah Montana, she's a normal girl, but she's also, like,
I
a
know.
superstar, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's, like
Yeah,
that
like my
must have
dream was to
inspired
be on
you,
the
like, the
Disney
idea to be
Channel.
like that, you
Yeah, I was
know?
like, I want to be on the Disney Channel.
Mm,
When I watched The Devil Wears Prada, I was like, who's this Meryl Streep woman? Like, good for her. Like, truly, I was like, wow, like she's out there, like she's old, like her first job, like good for her. Like, had no idea, like who Meryl Streep was. I was like, Devil Wears Prada, like big breakout for her. Yeah.
yeah, good for her. Good for her, and guess what? They're doing another one, which
I
is really,
know, I
really great,
know.
and I'm really, really happy for
Yeah,
her,
me
and I
too. I
wish
mean,
her
she
all I
needs
wish
the
her all the best. I
work.
wish her all the best.
She needs.
Absolutely. And so but unlike Billy Elliot, you wanna do this, and nobody in your family is like, "Oh, you think you're better than us, you think you're so posh," or maybe
No, my
was there
fam
any of that?
no, they've always been so neutral about it. My family, as I get older and older, and like, believe me, like especially since marrying Max, like there's so many stones turned and just so many different walks of life that I've seen. My family is incredible. Like, believe me, I've not obviously, I mean, I'm 33, so I've gone through a lot of different things. You'd be like, my family sucks, like they did this, like I blame them. But now I'm just like, my family's amazing. Like, they're just happy that I have a job
Yeah,
and that I like it and that I make money, but I could be doing anything really. They've always been very neutral about it.
that's great.
My brothers would probably love it if I could be in something, really mainstream. I think that they love Dune. Um, they're proud of me, but they're not proud of me because I'm like on TV.
Yeah. Well, they're proud of you because you've achieved the thing. I think that one of the cool things is that about your story is that you've achieved that thing that you set out to do,
Yeah.
and, from a place where, because like, there's so many stories about how the young actresses of our day often have, a little bit of a leg up, and, I did too, like, my dad I could have a video camera, and my dad was in media and
Yeah,
everything,
but the thing
but
is
they
like,
still don't think that I've made it, so that's cool.
I mean, look, if I wanted to go and work in the prison service, I'd have a leg up. I just didn't go into the family business.
Yeah, now you're a mom instead.
Yeah, like I didn't, it's just most people naturally gravitate towards what they see growing up.
Yes,
And I just so
that's
happened
right.
to see Dolly Parton and was like, I want some of that?
Yeah,
Like that's just what I ended up being influenced by.
yes. What was the first audition
The
that you ever
first
did?
audition I have is very, I don't know, I think the word is like, it's a version of Kismet, like, I don't know, like, I just told the story the other day. My first audition was actually for this movie called Death Defying Acts, which was, a movie about Houdini. Catherine Zeta-Jones was in it, and Saoirse Ronan ended up playing the role that I auditioned for. And I remember at this point, I was doing extra work on children's TV in Leeds, and I basically just turned up and did what I was told, and I was given this audition. They're like, "Hey, like they're looking." It was all of also a lot of the auditions when you're a kid are certain height. They want you to be older to play down. That was a lot of why I got a lot of opportunities because I looked really young. I
Mhm,
could play
mhm.
younger, but I was older. And I went to this audition with Saoirse. I remember seeing her outside, and we had to like go in and improvise, like meeting this like magician. But I was like, I don't want to be in this film. I want to be on Disney Channel. So I was just like, whatever, like I'll do the audition, but like this isn't really for me. And it was years later, I was like, that movie, I probably could have tried harder in that audition, but it didn't seem exciting to me to like be in this Houdini movie. But I did eventually work with Saoirse, and obviously not like our paths cross all the time, but it's just interesting to think about.
So what was the first role that you did get?
The first role that I did get was just like a walk-on role in like a show called No Angels, which was this really adult medical drama about nurses like having affairs with patients and stuff, and I played somebody's daughter in it.
Okay.
And the director that I worked with when I was 11, I worked with 3 years ago. I worked with when I was pregnant.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, she's called Minky Spyro.
Minky Spyro.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's an amazing director. She directs a lot of things. Yeah, I worked with her again when I was 29.
When you got the role, were you like, "Of course," or were you like, "It's happening"? Like, what was your feeling when you got the call?
I don't remember ever being like, I've just always been very serious. Like, I get the job and it's like that actor thing. Judy Dench has a really good quote about it where you get the job and you're like, oh my god, like, what do I do? It's that feeling, you're like, "Oh my god, okay, well, when's my first day off?" Because, like, this is very overwhelming, like, I have to
Oh,
prepare
yeah, yeah,
this, like,
yeah.
the excitement is, like, 2 seconds, and you're like, "Oh my god, now I actually have to do the job, like, am I good enough? Like, what am I gonna do?" Like, that's always the thing, that feeling. Even when I was a kid, it was like, "Okay, well, now I have to do a good job, like, let's get into it." Like,
Yeah. And that's the only way to deal with the anxiety is to just
yeah.
how do you silence that voice that, "Am I good enough, and do I belong here?" or do you silence it, or do you live with it? Like, how does that work for you?
I think if you ask people that have done this for a long time, y if you don't have that feeling of, "I'm nervous, like, am I gonna be good? Like, have I forgotten how to act? Like, quit," you know? Because then you need all these emotions, right, to do the job. So
Right.
now I just go, "Oh, this is a completely normal feeling, and we'll get there on the day, and everybody's on my side. Everybody needs me to do the scenes well, or it's a tremendous waste of like
Mhm.
$100 million." And you just go, I'm gonna turn up, I'm gonna know the lines, and I'm gonna see what happens. But I've done it for long enough now where you're safe on set, you're safe.
Mhm.
But that I've got to that place through working through like tremendous amounts of anxiety. And,
Right.
like, really being on set and, like, having panic attacks, like, inside of scenes.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me a story about that.
So, the 2nd season of The End of the Fucking World, yeah, I mean, it was just, like, that show, I the luckiest thing, it was the most successful thing that happened to my career, and it will always be, like, a benchmark, and but yeah, like it was real, like overnight kind of success with it. And so many people will talk to you about this and they'll explain it the same way, especially that specific time in Netflix, where things were going online, blowing up, and you would get your phone and you would just be gaining like hundreds of thousands of followers at one time.
I
You're
missed that.
dead it
Somehow I missed that. Let me just check.
because you were
I
you
don't know where are my followers.
So, that you're dead inside if you're not sat in your room,
Yes.
because your life hasn't changed. Like you're in your room, like your TV show went on Netflix 2 days ago, and you're just like, who are all these people? And yeah, I,
Yeah.
I developed like a tremendous amount of anxiety from that.
Well, also you're seeing you're reading the comments.
Yeah,
So what is
yeah.
that doing to you?
It
And yeah.
it's just indescribable and it's not real, but it has a real effect on how you feel. And you're 24 and suddenly, you're flown to Los Angeles where everybody wants to meet you and everybody's like, we're gonna make this movie and that movie. And you're just like, what? Like last week, like no one, I couldn't even get like a casting. And I think that now looking back on it, you're like, wow, that's the most, yeah, of course. I felt like, what am I gonna do? Like, there's so much pressure. Like, how are we gonna do the show good the next time? And like, of course, your life gets turned upside down. Um, and that's the experience. And that's just like a chapter of my life?
I want to that is a great show, by the way. That was the first time
Thank
I saw
you.
you. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Um, and I love one of the things that's so cool about your character and your performance is that you're vulnerable and then super, super tough at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Or more maybe it's like tough first and then the vulnerability.
Yeah, that is basically what I'm always looking for. It's what everyone's looking for, especially actresses, I think. Yeah, that's kind of like a non-negotiable when I'm choosing a project.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you have a really fun and kind of unique interaction with your fan base on
Yeah.
your Instagram, which is really funny.
Stream of
Yeah,
consciousness.
stream of
Yeah.
consciousness. It is fun. You get a lot of like insight into like English memes, I feel
Mhm.
like, following you. Also I like it when you tell people to fuck off on your
I'm always telling people to fuck
I love
off.
that. I love that.
If I don't know how many times I can explain this to people. I do not want to get to the end of my life, be on my deathbed and be like, shit, I wish I told more people to fuck off. Because the truth is that in your life, there are so many people that you need to tell to shut the fuck up. Truly, truly. So many people that you need to be like, I love you, I love this person, but there is a lot of people that you should just be like, fuck off, you know?
Yeah, what's the threshold between ignore it or tell them to fuck off?
Ignore it is once I've spoken to my husband and whatever he say, if he's like, you gotta let this one go, I listen to it for the sake of our relationship and our marriage and our kids.
You believe in justice.
I'm an actress. What do you want me to be like? Like nowadays, like everybody's got a publicist and everybody wants to be like demure and mysterious. No, I'm a throwback.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm an eccentric and I like my act as eccentric.
me too.
Yeah.
And also, like, you're not afraid to get into it, like, in a playground situation with other parents? Are there any stories, anything interesting happened recently that you either throw back at or resisted?
I need my kids to go to a really good school here, so we can't go into this.
Great. Okay, cool. We'll mark that down. Oh, yeah, because 'cause
I
we're gonna yeah, right. I hear what you're saying. You don't want them to be afraid of you
They
about what
probably already
the
are.
hell you will unleash in the PTA
Here's
meeting.
the thing, like, my kids started preschool a year ago, and nothing has humbled me more than navigating those relationships and that path. It is just I can't believe, everything about being a parent. You're like, what was I doing before? Like, why did I think I was living a life, And nothing prepares you for feelings and people and relationships and other people's expectations of their kids, like it's fascinating. Yeah. But it's complicated to navigate, especially if you do a job like ours, I think, where our job is reading people and situations and being like, oh, that's fascinating. Like, why did that person respond like that? What does it mean? That's our job, right? So yeah, like it's a real trip, like having a kid in the LA school system.
Is it a coincidence that you are fiery and you have red hair? Like, is that a
No.
thing? Because I think that Max
Is he fat?
also
Whoa,
he also has freckles and hair and kinda he's kind so there's a
yeah.
certain, like what Max told me when he was, like, telling, he's like, he's in love with you and that, he was like, "She's the only person I've ever loved and feared so much other than my mother."
Right answer.
Yeah. Well, Max and I both wanna be actors. We are so insecure that we can't take criticism, so we need to be in control of everything.
He takes criticism from me.
Of course, that's why you're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why he fears you and loves you because
He's the only guy
you're
that
not
could
afraid
handle
to give
it.
him criticism.
I just always kind of say like he was the only guy that could really handle it. That's why I like agreed to marry him really because like I knew that he could take it. I met Stacy, I met Zoe, and I was like, he'll survive.
And also, it's like the opposite
Yeah,
of
I
where you
know.
come from.
I know.
It's like
It's so
seeing you and then I
beautiful.
remember we had, like, a play date with the kids and your mom was there and
Oh
then
yeah. Oh
Henry was
yeah.
there,
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Stacy was napping, but then she did come down at the
She
end.
yeah, she usually
Sh
comes
she
down,
came
yeah.
down towards the end, um, and it was just, like, really fun to hear about the context of, like, here is the Hollywood royal family, um, and then you guys are, like, you worked from literally the mining town,
It's a beautiful
like Billy Elliot,
life.
and it's just, like it's amazing.
It's beautiful
It's
life.
really, really cool, and to see you guys, like, on the same page and such, like, in sync in such a way, I think
We
is, like, amazing.
continuously get told by psychics that, like, this is our good life.
Yes.
Yeah, so the
I
psychics
want that psychic because
she's called Faye,
I had a
she's
weird
amazing.
experience in Turkey with a coffee psychic that was, like, not great.
Oh, I bet.
Faye told you that this is your best life. How do
Yeah.
you know, like, we're all working so hard, we're trying to make it, we're trying to do something, and, like, do you feel like you have it enough? Like, how do you get to that place where you're happy with where you are?
I'm not trying to make it. I'm not interested in somebody else's, like, I'm not interested, people are always like, "How do you make it in Hollywood?" I'm like, "Why the fuck would you wanna make it in Hollywood?"
Well,
Like,
are
I
you
wanna
working towards something, or are you actually able to live it right now and don't lie?
my goal
Because 'Cause we'll
is
know.
to my goal is to just keep exploring and just keep digging into like the human experience through acting and adrenaline rushes and like experiences with people and like going to this weird part of Europe and like feeling like these people are your family for these 5 weeks and on the last day like crying and being like it's never gonna be the same again and
Yeah.
like that's what I'm like chasing, like the Glenn Close thing of
Yeah.
I'm just I'm living constantly as an actor. Like there's no like I've made it, there's no award, like there's no amount of money. It's just like what is the next insane how can I push myself? And how can I just like keep changing and like stay a creative and keep just like knocking down the work that you've done before and the expectation and like do something different, just like keep a chameleon type feeling, And like just when people think they've got an idea of the type of project that you're going to do, go and do something completely different.
So you wanna win an Oscar is what that speech is
Would
giving.
fucking love to win an Oscar. I want to win like five
I'm
Oscars.
getting, like,
Yeah.
a really strong awards vibe from that speech.
I've always known who I am.
Yeah, how what is how why how did you do that?
I got this tattoo to remind myself who I am, but I think it
What does
worked.
it say?
My name.
Oh, cool.
Everyone makes fun of it, but I remember when I was 18, I got this because I actually did go through like an identity crisis thing. When you're 18 and you've been an actress, like there's nothing for you to do. There's nothing. This is no man's land. 18 to 21 is really hard if you were a kid actor. And I was also by no means a famous one, like I was a working actress from 11, 10. And I just found it really hard. Like 18 to 20 was really, really hard. Like I did work, but it was tough. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not having everybody else that is gone to university and they're like finally having like a great life and you're just like waiting for an audition and it sucks. And I did this because I wanted to remember a time when I was like, am I meant to be an actress? Like, what am I doing? Like, I was depressed. Like, I was a depressed teenager. And I and I just wanted to remember, like, not to like wish things away and to just like stay present. Everybody makes fun of it, but there's a real reason for it. I don't know how I know who I am. I think that there's again, like a very specific recipe of being a northern woman as well. I think it's maybe similar to being like a woman from the South who decides to go and do something different. And I always talk about the fact that, women in the North, like, you run everything, but the foundation of it is not feminist, but it actually is. Like, these guys and like the history of like the mines and it closing down and like these men, like, not being able to go and do these physical labor jobs anymore and they feel useless at home. But the women like pulled them through this whole experience that is like in your DNA as like a northern woman, like you're very strong. And I think then when you take us out of that and into the real world, you're like, wow, this is a piece of piss. Like, this is so easy? Like, everywhere I go, people are like, how are you the way that you are? Like, how are you so funny? How do you this? And I'm like, there's millions of us. Like, go to Leeds, like, go to Huddersfield. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm run of the mill. It's just like, you never let us anywhere to do anything? It's that working class woman thing, which is everywhere, I think you kind of keep the world running and like no one goes thanks. So you end up knowing who you are because you got to pull yourself up and get on with it.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love that. That's inspiring. I mean, that's really, really good. You're good. So, but you brought merch for me from Dune, right?
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
cool, cool, cool. That's a yes. Okay, now let's get into Dune. True or not true that I convinced you to do this part?
Not true. Like this was they were talking to me about this for years. Actually, maybe you did in the end. They asked me so many times to do this that I said no, but then the role kept growing. Maybe you put something into the universe to like make it.
Well, remember I was there. I think I thought you were just deciding about it, or yeah, I think we were trying to make a deal when I was working on
Oh
Horror
yeah,
Story.
and it was
So I
before the
was there in
strike.
the house, because Frankie was 2
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. No, you did then. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
did. Yes,
let's take that
yes.
one more time.
True.
What's true?
You did push me over the finish line to Dune. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell us about your
It's a
character.
it's about the Benny Gesserit in specifically Valia Harkonnen's reign.
And
Is
what's a
it
Bene Gesserit? Like, you make it even simpler.
A Benny Gesserit is I describe it as a space nun, and they have different skills. It's a finishing school for girls where they read minds, they predict the future, they influence families, and they control the universe. They have taken the human mind and they have explored it and they have raked over it and over again and they have gone, this is everything that you can eke out of your mind. You simple fucks. You're only using 10% of your brains and we use 100% of our brains. And anyone can do this if you just go and do some prana bindu, you know?
Yeah, and the brilliance of them is that they have such discipline that they
Hmm.
just let the men think that they're running it.
Yes, the main skill they've learned is that what I need to learn, which is don't tell anyone to fuck off. Just do something behind their back.
That's what I tell Christine too, because she's vengeful as
Me
well.
too.
Um, and I'm like, just don't threaten. I remember
Just do
actually
it
there was a
anyway.
conversation,
I
and Christine's gonna
know.
kill me for saying this. She was like a thing where she was like threatening. She was like, okay, well, I'm gonna call them and tell them that they don't do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm like, no, no, no,
Story of my
no, 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 no.
life.
First, I remember our lawyer was like, don't, first off, don't ever say anything like that ever. Second, if you just, why don't you just do
Do it
that?
anyway. This is what Max says to me all the
Just
time.
do the thing. Don't threaten them.
It's why we need each other. You guys are very simple, like
We're
very
s- and
practical.
afraid.
Life is a beautiful journey. It's
We're
a
afraid of
beautiful
conflict. I'm
journey with
afraid of
people.
conflict.
Yes, men are really afraid of conflict. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Even though, like, we're, like, aggressive, but also, like well, I guess
No,
maybe
like
I
you
am, I don't
can't
know.
talk the talk.
Wait, tell me the thing about the meaning of life again? You were about to go on
The
a thing.
meaning of life is creating man, like it is. It completely is, because if not, there isn't any more life. Like the world doesn't keep going if we don't keep making humans. Clearly, the meaning of life is to eat food, have sex, create people, and go on for years and years, until it blows up, whatever. Because if
Okay.
not, there's just gonna be a planet here, just like with no people in it.
Well, I think just then just kind of, like, accepting that and being okay with it.
We overcomplicate everything, but like we're just supposed to nurture young. You don't have to have a kid, but like we're supposed to, the children are our future. Lead them well and let them lead the way. It
Wha
is that. It has to be. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them the strength of mind to make it easier. Let the children's laughter. I don't know the
No,
rest of the
keep going, I'm
words.
just gonna be quiet. I was tripping out when you said it because, like, I am first off, I'm obsessed with the books, I'm like an
Yeah.
OG Dooner.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Um, Dooner doesn't sound great, actually. The one that you were in is a book that I hadn't read, and, it was a d the chap is it based on Chapter House? Let's talk about it.
I don't know.
What was
Like,
the what
I've
was your
been very
impression
upfront about it, and I didn't read the books, hon.
the
Like,
first time you finished Chapter House, what was your takeaway on the full journey of not only Valia, but, like, the Harkonnen people, and why?
I'm so happy to be in the Harkonnen legacy,
That's a
truly.
good answer.
There's no other family that I would relate to or want to be in.
Why Yeah, because we were like, "Oh, yeah, it makes sense."
I am a Harkonnen, yeah.
Yeah, why? What is a Harkonnen? What does that even mean? Like, why are they such pricks in the later movies too? How do they
Because
get
they're
from you?
passive aggressive, like chip on their shoulder. I love it. I'm constantly wrestling with my working class chip. I'm so honest about it. You have it. If you're from the north of England, you've got the chip on your shoulder. I'm constantly trying not to be a dick and be like cynical, and like that is a Harkonnen thing.
That's so real. That you're sort of drawing inspiration from your actual self.
Yeah, I mean, always. Yeah, I like to do that with my acting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it to be 50-50, like something that I'm not and then something that I know.
And then also, actually going back to the end of the fucking world, your character is so needs to be an adult right now. Like, is just, like, done
Which
with
was what
childhood.
I felt like as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But then faced with the actual horrors of adulthood, like,
Mhm.
head on.
Yeah.
Um, Care to comment?
Well, I left home when I was 16. I left home when I was 16. I went to be in the West End. Well, actually, I went to workshop a play that was ended up being Jerusalem, which was a Jez Butterworth play starring Mark Rylance, and it was, like this. I mean, the biggest thing in Mark Rylance's career. Um, I didn't know who any of these people were. I like went to an audition, got the part, and was in a workshop for a show. It didn't have a name, and cut to it being like the biggest show of its time. And I was just like, what? Like, I'd never even seen a show in the West End, and ended up having to like leave home, which was hard, because it was really hard on my mum. Um, and now, not just through having my own kids, like before that, like that was really, can you imagine like going, I have to let my kid move away from home when they're 16 in order to do what they want to do with their life? Like that's so complicated.
Yeah.
So I was living by myself when I was 16. Um,
In London.
yeah, no chaperone, just completely living in an adult world. And uh I'm so grateful that my mum let me do it. But of course, like I was exposed to things and conversations and other people's emotions of just like, what is this? Like I was way too young to deal with it because the show ended up being really successful. Um, and that's crazy. I was completely exposed. Um, but absolutely the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up really fast.
Yeah. Is there anything that you feel like you missed out of
Yes, of
childhood?
course. Like, of course. But it was completely my terms. No one, a lot of child actors would be like, well, my mom and dad said I had to do this. And like, no, these were my decisions. I wanted to go and do it. I was never forced to do anything. I wanted to be an adult and I wanted to be in the world making money and living. And what I ended up doing is having a relationship early on with sacrifice, which is what most people come to when they're like 40, where
Mhm,
like you
mhm,
don't get everything.
mhm,
And I just learned that at like 18.
mhm. Wow. Did you feel lonely?
Yes, incredibly so. Yeah. I used to talk to homeless people because I didn't know what else to do. Yeah, I used to. Yeah. Yeah, I was really, of course I was lonely. Like I didn't know anybody else my own age, but I did still have like my friends at home, still friends of them. But day to day was of course like so lonely. I was 16, like I wanted to do like dumb 16-year-old stuff, and the person closest in age to me like on this job was like 24. Yeah, it was tough, but I was like, I'm absolutely doing what I want to do with my life. Um, and I also used to read so much about old movie stars like Judy Garland, Elizabeth Taylor, Lana Turner, and all these people. I think I gravitated towards them because they had similar, because all those movie stars would just be plucked from obscurity at like 15 and like sent, so that gave me a lot of comfort. And I was very focused on what I was doing. And I got really good jobs at that time. I was really happy with my career at that time as well. So I was lucky that it was all.
And so you took solace in the journeys of these other.
Yeah, I made a movie with Stephen Frears during this time, and I made a movie with Joe Wright,
Wow.
and
Which
uh,
movie with Joe what Joe Wright movie
it
was it?
was a movie called Hannah.
Oh, you were in Hana. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
you were the f oh my
yeah,
god.
still get jobs from it
Dude, that's
now.
the one with Saoirse. Oh my
Yeah,
god, because 'cause you're like that's so funny
people still give me jobs from it now,
because she's the lonely one who is, like,
and I'm like, oh
completely
my god,
and you're
yeah.
like the girl who's, like, so you're like the
And I
the
work with Olivia now on Dune.
incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh
wow, I
my god, I
completely
nearly
missed
gave you
that.
an insane spoiler for Dune then. That was crazy. So I work with Olivia on it now. And yeah, those movies, working with those two filmmakers were giant for me at 16. They influenced me so much. And I was so like, this is tough right now. But wow, what an education I'm getting from my job.
Mhm. Alright, now we're gonna get into the real shit.
Okay.
Do you mind grabbing those for me? So, okay, here we go, guys. How many people have you killed?
Hundreds,
How many deaths do you think you're responsible for?
millions.
We're gonna go at least 1,000,000,000,000 deaths
Mm-hmm.
due to the path, the actions you've set in motion. When you consider the full Atreides jihad that is to come in the books is all done. It's like really gnarly. Okay, it's really really bad, and we can believe some of these things. I mean, honestly, is it a spoiler if it's in a book? I'm not NDA. Listen, here's the deal: the story of Dune. It's not like the normal hero's journey thing. It's about the danger of what happens when you believe that you are the hero and you're the only one that
Oh
can do
my
it.
god, yeah,
And what ends
whoa.
up happening is just like, yeah, thank you for that. I need that. I need that. I need that. It's actually like he's a real anti-hero. And that's like, so what is it like working with Timmy?
I don't work with him. He's not in our show. Maybe I'm gonna see him this time. I mean, I guess in a way I do work with Timothy because like he gave birth to the love of Dune, but like I don't work with the kid.
Well, you are
He works
actually
with me. I'm
actually
joking.
I'm sorry, but as the Kwisatz Haderach, you're actually in his consciousness because he drank the water of life. All the previous Reverend Mothers are all up in there.
Look, I
God
oh my
damn it. I
god,
didn't want it to be like
wow,
this. How
wow.
many steps ahead are you thinking when you greet someone that you intend to kill?
Just one.
Can you do the voice for us?
I'm not legally allowed to do the voice anymore.
How do you This text is so small, which is why I have to wear the glasses. Exactly how many Reverend Mothers did you personally oversee during the Kwisatz Haderach breeding program, but before the incident at Wallach 9 because it's not really clear in the text? What do you got?
None.
Okay, got it. What do you name? Did you name your gum Jabbar?
Carol?
I like that. That's a good one. Okay, good for that. Did you ever have a pet? Would all you ever have a pet?
Mhm.
Can you give me more metaphors about how the Harkonnens are like English people?
Well, first of all, they're cold. All physically cold all the time. Very anemic to sunlight.
Colonizers?
Yeah, I mean, that's the most obvious one. Terrible taste in food, arguably overweight, out of shape.
When had you seen the movie before you were cast?
Yeah, I was a giant fan of it. Giant.
When they said you're gonna be a Harkonnen, like, did you think like, "Oh, they're gonna make me bald?" Like, how do we get from
Yeah.
you to that
I do think I look like Stellan
To Stellan
Skarsgård. Yeah.
Skarsgård?
Me and Emily
How do we
do
get from
kind of look
there?
like him. If you took our hair off, like, no offense, Emily, but like, we do kind of look like him. Yeah. Like,
But, like, what
I lift my baby up from her bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning in the sleep suit, and I'm like, fuck me. Oh my God. I'm like, it's him. Like, we're just hanging down, and the baby's like, "Ugh," like, it's him.
in real life, your baby.
Yeah, every baby and like when you pick them up out of the crib, they're just like covered in like spit and crying. Like they look like Stellan
That's
Skarsgård and
genius.
Dune.
That's how good Denis is and his team,
I know,
is
I
that he's like a
know.
big evil baby in the bathtub,
Yeah, that's just like feed me,
and he's,
no,
like, always
king
eating, he's like,
baby.
like, "I'll kill
Yeah.
that, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that." Tell me about, like, what is the meaning of your character? Why? Like, why is the show about her?
It's an exploration of what it means to be a leader, and specifically a female leader and a woman in power, because that is very topical, and it has been for a long time, of pushing female stories and the balance of women in charge. And like, we want women to be in charge, and we want groups of women to work together. And especially, what is it like, the exclusion of men, which is what the Benny Gesserit is, and the conversation of should women lead and should women be in power, and men are weak at this and women are stronger than that. And it's an exploration of, okay, then this is it. This is women working together as a team, and what happens.
They say that there's, like, a problem with, like, women who hate women or
Mhm.
that women are
Yeah, and that's
unkind. They're
Dune definitely explores that.
especially unkind to each other.
Mhm.
Why is that, do you think?
I don't know, like, it's truly I just read another script about this as well, like, it's really fascinating. I think that it is because I think that it is born from I'm being serious with this
Yeah,
actually, I
yeah.
think it's born
Yeah.
from the fact that it's a chicken and egg situation where it is a man's world, but it's the fact that women can create life. And I truly believe that there was a guy that like watched a woman give birth to a baby thousands of years ago and was like, fuck me. Like, this is crazy. Like, They are the universe. Shit, what does this mean? Okay, fuck. Like, we have to take this away from them. Just one person, one guy was like, guys, like, look, come and look at this. Come and see this other baby coming out of this woman. Like, what the hell? Like, this is where you were. Like, you fucked this woman and now she's made life. Like, what are we going to do? And they're like, you're right. Like, this is a huge problem because I want to be in charge. And they're like, yeah, I want to be in charge. She's like, we're physically stronger than them. Like, I'm taller than this woman. She can't be in charge. I'm going to tell everybody we've got to make it our life's work that we are in charge. And that's the chicken and egg
And now we
situation.
gotta write a story about how we were all living in a perfect world, and then she took the apple, right, from the
Yeah, right
Garden of
now.
Eden. Yeah,
Yes. And it
and
is like,
it comes from fear.
it's mind blowing.
Men fear women. That's like all the, like, religions are all, like, patriarchal and everything because it's exactly that. We're afraid, and that we're not gonna be in charge, and also, like, we're afraid of the
Well,
kid.
because the
We're
only
afraid of the kid.
miracle is childbirth. Like, that is the truth. Like, the
Wow.
only miracle and the only meaning of life is the creation of humans, right? And obviously, women can't do without men, but you absolutely do not have anyone unless, like, the woman. If you really look into as well, like, the chemicals and what happens in your body, in a woman's body, like delivering a baby, like, for instance, like, they've been able to, it's possible that I don't know what I'm talking about. I only read like one thing and like stayed on it and read about it. But the whole chemical reaction that happens in a woman's body to give birth to labor, they they researched it. So in order to get rid of tumors and cancer, they looked at what happens in a woman's body to get rid of, because basically also what triggers labor is the body is like, it is now killing us. Get it out. And so they've investigated some cancer treatments of like, how do you recreate that thing of like, this tumor is killing us, how do we get it out? So there's so much happens. It's a work of it's do you understand, like, they can't create any machine, that they will never man cannot create anything as sophisticated as a human body that you know gives birth to a child, and like, that's really distressing for men.
Exactly, and I think that's why and Frank Herbert, the author of Dune, is actually really attuned to that a lot more than Tolkien, which is why I think that Dune is greater than Lord of the Rings, and I'm gonna stand by that. Because Lord of the
Me
Rings is
too, me too,
it
and
really
I
no, it
like Lord
really
of the
is like a
Rings.
fantasy, and I remember seeing a meme where it's like, here are all the conversations where 2 female characters talk in Lord of the Rings
And
trilogy,
it's not
and it's, like,
great,
literally,
yeah.
like, one line where it's like, "Mother, will we be killed?" And that's literally it.
The thing is
And
like, men are not that interesting. You guys are like very it's not not interesting isn't the right phrase. You're actually really simple, and women are very complex. And
yeah, I agree, actually. Sorry, Justin. Amanda,
yeah.
and that's actually why my favorite producers that I work with are women. It's same with my show. And sorry, the Chef's Table team, actually. So, here's the deal. What you're describing is so
Benny
Bene Gesserit.
Gesserit,
It's
yeah.
so deeply Bene Gesserit because they are the ones who are capable of the miracles. A man cannot take
The
the water of life,
poison.
and when they do, they end up killing off more than they send the entire universe into a spiral of death and misery and destruction to feed his endless ego, which is, like, so, so dark. If anybody's read, God Emperor of Dune, it's like it doesn't go great. So,
No.
like, the idea of the commit able to do the miracles, purging the poison, like, all these special powers that the Bene Gesserit have are, like, based on women, and it turns out that women are actually behind the scenes shaping the course of history.
Yeah, yeah.
And, the men are resisting it, but they're not sophisticated enough not to
Well,
fall into the trap.
that's not a spoiler, yeah, because obviously the Benny Gesserit are harboring they're hiding a thinking machine, yeah, on a roll. That was in season 1.
Oh, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, animal yeah,
Okay,
no.
no, I got you.
Animal is in it, yeah, they
I
have
got
a
you.
thinking
They do have
machine.
a thinking machine.
They broke the law, yeah.
Right. Wow. Okay, that was really deep, the Bene Gesserit thing. That's
I'm
like
obsessed with it, I fucking love it.
it's so good. And, the real threats are the other women, right? Because 'Cause they're the only ones who can defeat each other. How do you coordinate with Emily Watson being the young version of
Stream of
her?
consciousness. Like, we would just stream of consciousness to each other. We would just text, speak to each other because we obviously never do any scenes together. Yeah, we just kind of like as we go. I think that we're both kind of work from the same place where you're just living your life and you'll just have random thoughts and we just share them in voice note or text.
It's kinda cool though because, she's this legendary British
I
actress,
know, I
and
know.
you are actually defining she has to follow you more
Yeah.
because
And
you know
she
what
has
I'm
so
saying?
much more to do than me as well. I
Yeah.
know. So like, yeah, I know. I try and because she's in every single scene of this. And she has so many different storylines to kind of to think about. And her workload is 5 times what mine is on the show. But I share everything with her. I mean, it genuinely is an honor to share a role with her. I mean, I don't share the role with her. She's 80%, I'm 20, but it's a really cool experience.
What is the meal that changed your life?
Mozza. Mozza changed my life. It's a really special restaurant for our relationship. There was a it would,
You and Max.
yeah, a few months into our relationship, it was coming up to the holidays and it was like, what are we gonna do? Like, am I gonna go home? Like, am I gonna stay here? And I think that the kind of tension of that, of us needing to like commit to the next part of our relationship and spend the holidays together made us have an argument. We went to Mozart and it just kind of diffused it because we were just talking about, do you want to know what it was? You can't even really order it really, but they let us have it. Just their plain tomato sauce, just a plain red sauce of pasta. And that is like, that's mine and Max's like food language in a way, like very simple flavors and like going somewhere and asking if they can do something off menu and just appreciating like the simpleness of a red sauce. And just diffuse the argument. We spent the holidays together and now we're married. So it is Mozart.
Wow, and that's he's still there? Nancy Silverton, friend of the
We're gonna go there
in
for
the
his
show,
birthday on
going for his
Monday.
birthday on Monday?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
cool.
do all of
I
our
didn't get
like
the
big
text on that. What's up?
we do it's only us going. You can come with us if you want.
Okay.
All of our big banner things emotes. We wanted to get married there, but it's complicated because they couldn't support the hundreds and thousands of people that the Winklers know.
Moza season 3, episode 4, Chef's Table. Have you watched the episode of
Yeah,
Moza?
of course. Yeah, she's an amazing woman.
What's your favorite Chef's Table episode?
I love the I don't know if I'm saying it right. The Momofuku one. Who's
What?
the guy? The one about
We
the
never made an episode of David
Yeah, you
Chang. No, we
did.
didn't.
You did. You did make one about it, and I love
No,
the one
he's in
about
I mean, he's like an expert on the
oh, it's
things.
the milk bar girl.
Oh, Christina Tosi.
Yeah, it's the
Right, no,
milk
right,
bar
that's right.
one.
Sorry. It's
It's and
Christina.
her when she talks about the crack pie and how like she would make this dessert for people to eat at the end of the night because I love that dessert and I love that pie. And I love the like just that ended up being something like so organically made, literally like she just made it for people to enjoy. And like, yeah, of course, like if people enjoy something, go with it. Just because it was easy, it doesn't mean that it's wrong, you know?
Love it. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
You were
you.
amazing.